Ok pessoal, bem-vindos ao Undergrounds Voice mais uma vez. Hoje tenho o Richie Cavalera comigo, vocalista dos Incite. Thank you so much for coming. Welcome to Portugal. It's really a pleasure to meet you and finally gonna see Incite live, man. So welcome to Portugal. You played yesterday in Lisbon. How was the show and what can you expect about tonight?
Oh man, yesterday was great. You know, we went on a little earlier than I would have liked to, you know, because by the end of the night it was packed, it was raging, but you know, it was fun to get up there, you know, speak a little Portuguese, fire them up a little bit, you know, just really just show Portugal what's up, you know. Finally have Incite here, finally playing.
Yeah.
It's been a great time.
Well, the latest album, Oppression, is, in my opinion, the best album and the most solid and the heavier of your career.
Right on.
Do you agree with that? What do you feel about that album?
Yeah, definitely. You know, a big thing of it, you know, I think is the producer, and as well as having a continuous lineup now, you know. A couple years, you know, trying to figure out who was going to be the guitar player, and, you know, switching the whole lineup after the second album. You know, I think it was for the best for the band. You know, everybody that's in the band now is 100% dedicated into the band. They come from great, you know, influential backgrounds, and they bust their ass, and every night, no questions asked, man, they give 100,000% on stage. And, you know, to find other dudes with the kind of work ethic and mentality that I have was a gift, man. I think you see that now from, you know, Up in Hell to Oppression. You know, those two records stand out more than I think the other ones. You know, we found our feel, we found our style, and I think with all of our teamed up aggression, man, we really have, you know, a good thing right here in metal. And, you know, we want to keep it heavy, we want to keep it pure, and, you know, no gimmicks, no bullshit, just, you know, hard work, energy, aggression, emotion. You know, you feel it from each one of us. And Oppression was, you know, us wrapping that all up in a ball, and Steve Evans really coming in and matching the sound to our live show. You know, that's one thing I think the previous records have lacked, was that meeting that live standard. You know, I think this one came closer.
That's it. I really want to talk about the lineup. It's a great lineup of Incite right now. The band is always growing album after album. Right now, in best moment in your career, right?
Yeah, I feel so. You know, and we just started working on the next album. You know, they want us in the studio in February next year.
Cool.
We're gonna work with Steve Evans again, which will be, you know, it'll be familiar and comfortable for us. And we're gonna let Drew, you know, kind of steer the ship a lot. You know, and, you know, kind of get that vibe set, because he's a bad shredder, man. And we're gonna take advantage of finally having a true shredder in the band. You know, I think, you know, Elle and Lennon and, you know, my vocals are still growing. You know, I think when you hear them tonight, you're gonna see that they've even gotten crazier since that record. You know, and it's gonna be exciting to hear this next album. You know, from where we've been going. You know, the first two records felt like demos to me, and now it feels like they've been real solid, you know, albums that we can stand behind. People are understanding the band now, and, you know, realizing, hey, there's a killer band here that we might be missing out on. And that's good to see and hear. That's what you want.
Well, everyone knows that you are son of Max Cavalera, but I'm sure you want to be known as Richie and not as the son of Max Cavalera. How do you feel about that? How people look at you right now?
You know, I think in the beginning it's never really been a problem to me. You know, if it was, I would have changed my name. You know, I think for me it's always just been about, you know, carrying on this name in metal. I think what Max and Igor had started, you know, I think Cavalera is a name that metal now will always have forever. You know, hopefully now we can carry it on for 20 more years, and then hopefully, you know, my son or Max's grandkids will carry it on and keep it going. You know, I think we've, you know, Max has revolutionized metal and been a big influence on us.
Yeah.
You know, and I think now people, you know, are starting to see Incite for just Incite, and, you know, we get a lot of people that come over and buy the disc, and then they read through the booklet and come back by the end of the show and they're like, damn, man, you're this guy. you know, that's cool to see that they're buying it because of the music, and that's always better. And I knew it would come, especially, you know, I've been on stage and in the view of people for a long time. You know, I'm not like these other kids that, you know, they get to be 20s and they realize their dad's someone famous and they start wanting to be in a band just because they know it's easy. You know, I've been, you know, on stage during Nail Bomb all the way back to Sepultura playing guitar in Policia. You know, I think, you know, what I've done is unlike anybody before me as far as, you know, carrying on the heritage and metal. You know, it's been done in movies and rock and roll and all this, but I think metal, you know, I was facing an uphill battle to be kind of the first kid to really do that. You know, and the years of working hard and, you know, people see that and going to the merch booth, putting in those hours of hanging out with people and being real. You know, I'm one of the hardest workers you'll find on tours, man. I mean, most singers, they carry their bag in and their mic in and that's all they do. You know, I'm the guy doing everything, man. And I love that. I thrive off working hard. And I feel lazy if I don't, you know. So for me, it's just part of the business, man. And people understand now.
It's great because you're not a rip-off of like the other Cavaleras.
Yeah,
you have your own identity, right?
Yeah, and I think, you know, people see that. I'm not, you know, Max isn't in there writing my songs. He's not in there calling people saying, hey, take him on tour. You know, like some of these other cats do, you know. Doing it like a real band, and that's what I've always wanted.
And about the Portuguese metal, do you know something? Are you a fan of any band from here?
Not as far as Portugal goes. I mean, the first Portugal band I've ever actually heard is this Blasphemy, Royal Blasphemy.
Yeah.
I heard, was it Wacko? You know, a couple of years ago when Soulfly played with them. But as far as bands from here, no, I'm not too familiar, man. I'm old school when it comes to music. I've been discovering some new stuff, you know, like bands like Lord Dying, you know, Cancer Bats, you know, Holy Grail, you know. I just saw this amazing band at this festival the other day called Crash Karma, and they blew your mind, man. A two-piece, chick guy, and they put on one hell of a show. No one was ready for it. It was cool. You know, you get that every now and then. So hopefully I'll discover some cool shit out here.
Cool bands. Thank you so much for coming. Any last words for the Portuguese fans and the Underground's Voice viewers?
Yeah, man, go out and buy that merchandise. You know, that's what keeps us going. It's, you know, it's expensive for us to come out here, and we want to come out here more and more. So hit up your promoters, hit up everybody, the festival people. Tell them you want Incite to play. Up in Hell, Oppression, buy them shits. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Richie Cavalera no Underground's Voice, nós voltamos em breve, fiquem bem.
Keep it heavy.